Hi, Miguel here, back with another Naruto vlog. Today we're doing Volume 16, Eulogy. And this is a very sorrowful title. And there is a bit of sadness that comes with this because we know that the third Hokage has sacrificed his life to stop Orochimaru. So we start off the volume by finishing things off with Gaara and Naruto going up against each other, determining what the outcome of that battle is. Gaara exhausts his chakra. Naruto also exhausts his chakra. They both have one punch left in them, and Gaara ends up defeated. And he says, "I give up. I quit." And this is really where the philosophical battle comes to a head, because we see Gaara start to contemplate, like, why he asks Naruto why he takes the time to fight for others, and Naruto says, "I love them." They've been there for me. I grew up very similarly to you, but I had people who were there for me, and I will do anything to protect them because I love them. And Gaara figures out, okay, so maybe that's why Naruto is so powerful, because he is willing to sacrifice everything to defend his friends and family. Meanwhile, I'm just constantly trying to. I've loved myself all this time without loving anyone else, and I've been trying to kill everyone else, and maybe that's where I've been going wrong. I haven't had something like truly worth living for, truly worth fighting for. We actually see a very interesting like moment between Gaara, Kankuro, and Temari as they're escaping. With Gaara in tow, Gaara actually says to his companions, like, "Guys, I'm sorry," and they look at each other like, "It's okay, I guess," because Gaara has never expressed any of this like heartfelt emotion before. And it's interesting to see him finally start trying to do that. It's really touching, actually, and this came to a very satisfying conclusion. Again, the previous volume was my favorite so far because of the emotional impact that came with learning Gaara's backstory and Gaara going up against Naruto and Gaara learning from Naruto's experiences in that sense. So again, very satisfying, very satisfying conclusion to that battle, and I'm very happy to see that Gaara is starting to learn something from Naruto as well, just like Inari did, just like Sasuke, just like Neji. Gaara is actually learning from the kid with the nine-tailed fox spirit sealed inside of him. And cutting back to the third Hokage and Orochimaru, we didn't see any of them last volume, but this is where we finally get to see what happened to the Hokage and to Orochimaru. So the Hokage was not able to completely take Orochimaru's soul out of him. He didn't have enough left in him for that, but he was able to remove the usage of his arms, and in doing so Orochimaru would not be able to perform any jutsus. He would not be able to perform any ninjutsu, any genjutsu. Any ninja art is completely inaccessible to him now, which I think is a very fitting punishment for him. The Hokage was very clever in figuring out, okay, if I can't kill Orochimaru, if I can't take him with me, I'll at least like make him unable to utilize jutsu, which I think, in my opinion, is a lot more fitting for the greedy Orochimaru. And with that, he passes away because that was his last act as Hokage. Orochimaru, having lost all capability of using jutsu, tells the Sand and Sound Ninja to retreat, and they do. The plan having completely failed, but the Hokage has passed away, so there's a bit of a small victory there, and a very large loss for the people of Konohagakure. And we do see, and this is something that I speculated in the previous, in some of the previous episodes. We do see that Orochimaru has orchestrated this from the start, without having assassinated the Kazekage, the head of Sunagakure. So that means that the Kazekage, this was not his intent from the beginning. While he did have we did see some of his bad side show when he tried to have his own son assassinated, or maybe that was Orochimaru. We never know. We don't know. We don't know how long Orochimaru has been uh, being a stand-in for the Kazekage. Actually, no. There's no way that Orochimaru could have been the stand-in for the Kazekage as at the time that Gaara was ordered assassinated. But beside the point, we do see that the Kazekage in actuality had little to no part, probably very likely no part in planning this invasion. So Sunagakure actually extends an apology to Konohagakure, like, hey, we didn't mean to do this. The Kazekage that we thought was ordering us to go attack you was actually Orochimaru in disguise. So, forgive us. And I think Konohagakure forgives him a little too quickly. I feel like there would have been some, rogue ninja in Konohagakure who would have been like, no, like, I get it. Orochimaru was, orchestrating all this from the beginning, but that still doesn't excuse you. In my opinion, it just doesn't feel realistic enough that Konohagakure would forgive them so easily. But I suppose, like, they have other things to worry about. In memory of the Hokage, there's a funeral held. All the ninjas attend. Of course, we can't forget the passing of Hayate, and I think one of Hayate's loved ones comes to pay her respects as well, and she finds Kakashi there, and she says, like, hey, you don't always have to be late, and Kakashi actually gives a pretty interesting response, that he was actually paying his respects to Hayate as well as the Hokage, and it's very... Iruka and Naruto have a very, like, heartfelt conversation about why people die, about what the purpose is in life for a ninja at the very least. Iruka remembers the Hokage at one point when Iruka was a kid. Because we remember that Iruka, very much like Naruto, grew up alone and very much unloved and without his parents, because his parents were killed by the nine-tailed fox spirit. But the Hokage actually expressed like very much sympathy for Iruka. Like, it's okay to cry. It's okay to be like this. And he expressed very much a very interesting sympathy for the Hokage. It makes me wonder, actually, to what extent the Hokage is okay with allowing for example, in the Chunin exams, Geinin are allowed to kill each other. Like, in the second part and third part of the exams, if you have to kill each other. So I wonder how the Hokage feels about that, if he expresses remorse for the type of assignments that he sends his ninja on when they get killed in the line of duty, or even if they get killed trying to become a Chunin. Very, very young students getting killed trying to earn the rank of Chunin. I wonder how he feels about that. I wonder if he ever expressed any sort of distaste for it, or any intent to change that system. Because if everyone in Konohagakure is his family in that regard. But it was still a very touching moment. It's very touching to see the Hokage, see how Iruka learned from the Hokage, and how Naruto in turn learns from Iruka. It's very touching to continue to see how Iruka continues to influence his students. So that being said, the Hokage has been buried. The funeral is over. It was a great run. I really appreciated the third Hokage and his contributions to the story, how he viewed people as his family, how he treated people as his family. Even Naruto, to some extent, had a very special place in the Hokage's heart. That said, we jumped from one problem to another. So, not long after the Hokage's passing, we learned that Sasuke's brother, the Itachi, Uchiha Itachi, that's the name. I hope I got that right. But Itachi has come to town, and he's brought with him another serial killer, another ninja serial killer, Kisame, who is very similar to Zabuza. He even mentions that he knew Zabuza at one point. Little Zabuza, he called him. So, like, that can give you some idea of how much of a threat this guy is in comparison to Zabuza, who is considered like a little threat. But Itachi, we remember, we've learned very gradually throughout the various volumes that Itachi is responsible for the destruction of Sasuke's entire clan. We imagine that Sasuke may have left him alive simply to, simply, simply to, what's the word I'm looking for? To, spite him. To say, like, if you hate me this much, try and kill me. But if you're not going to kill me, you can just continue to hate me, and it's going to, like, completely overcome you. It's going to completely, fill you up with this hatred. And we know that Sasuke has given into that hatred multiple times. He has done various things specifically to reach that level where he can kill his older brother. But yeah, Itachi has come to town. Kisame has come to town, and we learned that Orochimaru, Itachi, and Kisame are all in this group of rogue ninja who are all like considered severe threats to the ninja world, like class A criminals, class S criminals, S ranks in the bingo books, I believe they called it. But they are all like very big threats, and they're part of this organization called the Akatsuki, I believe I'm pronouncing that right. And that's very interesting, because we've seen the power that one member of the Akatsuki can do in the previous arc with Orochimaru basically like manipulating the exams, and posing as Kazekage and launching a full-on attack on Konohagakure. So the fact that there are 9 of them, and I'm very curious to see if we'll ever see all 9 of them in the same place, because that would be a massive threat that our heroes would have to deal with. So Itachi and Kisame actually run into the other 2 mentors, who are Kurenai and Asuma. We haven't seen a whole lot of them in action before, and they pretty much confirm everything I just said. And before they try and take them down, Kisame seems to be subservient to Itachi in some manner, because Itachi is telling, like, Kisame asks him, hey, can I take these guys out? Itachi's like, well, do so quietly, try not to attract any attention, we don't want to attract any attention. So Kisame appears to have this sword that, like, very similar to Zabuza's, but it cuts people into ribbons rather than slicing them in two, which is a much more painful way to go, I would assume. Itachi, meanwhile, in addition to having the Sharingan, this kind of terrifies me. He has this ability, if you look into his eyes, you get brought to Tsukuyomi, which is the Japanese, like, the Shinto goddess of the night, if I recall. If Amaterasu is a goddess of the dawn or the day, then Tsukuyomi is her counterpart, a goddess of the night. And I don't remember her being, like, evil or anything in any, like, story that I can recall. But Tsukuyomi in Naruto is like an alternate dimension world, like a flip world. The entire page goes black, and it's kind of a reverse coloring from what I saw on the page, which kind of was actually terrified me. I think that was the most terrifying thing I've seen since I started the series. But once you're transported to that world, Itachi has complete control over what you sense. So Itachi actually transports Kakashi to that world at one point. Kakashi thinks that he can overcome it with his Sharingan abilities, but Itachi proves him completely wrong, because Kakashi actually doesn't have that great of a control over the Sharingan as a member of the Uchiha clan. So Kakashi spends 3 days there in his mind, being repeatedly stabbed by samurai swords. Katana, I'm assuming. But anyway, he gets repeatedly stabbed, but when he returns to the normal world, when he wakes up from Tsukuyomi, barely a moment has even passed. So that's a very terrifying ability that Itachi can utilize. And I'm assuming he's going to utilize it on Sasuke. I'm assuming that's how he actually tortured Sasuke when he first destroyed the Uchiha clan. I'm very curious to see how this goes. I'm very curious to see how Sasuke interacts with his brother. Speaking of Sasuke, this is a lot to go off of, actually. So, in order to complete Naruto's training, Jiraiya actually asks Kakashi if he can take Naruto under his wing. Jiraiya has actually been approached to become the fifth Hokage, but he doesn't really want to. He says, like, you ought to seek out the other of the three great shinobi. So the three great shinobi were the three ninja who were under the tutelage of the third Hokage, Sarutobi. So that would have been Jiraiya, Orochimaru, and the third one that he wants him to seek out to become the next Hokage would have been Tsunade, whom I'm assuming we're going to look for in the next couple of volumes. And Jiraiya is actually looking for Tsunade. He has brought Naruto along with him because he wants to train him, to continue training him on how to utilize his the nine-tailed fox spirit to his advantage, taking him from under Kakashi's wing. But Jiraiya and Naruto go to this nearby city where they are looking for Tsunade, and they check in Naruto to one of these rooms. Now, back in Konohagakure, Kakashi, Kurenai, and Asuma are basically trying to figure out, like, what are we gonna do? We have these two rogue ninja on the loose, plus Orochimaru. Orochimaru's probably not much more of a threat anymore, but we still have, like, 8 other, like, really powerful rogue ninja banding together, possibly to bring Konohagakure down. And we don't have a Hokage to tell us what to do. And this is why this is one of the dumbest things I've ever seen. But, like, Sasuke actually walks into the room. He's like, "Hey, why is everyone here? What happened to Kakashi?" Kakashi's in bed because his battle with Itachi left him, like, really, really messed up. So Sasuke walks in, like, why is Kakashi bedridden? Why are all the Jonin here? And then another ninja comes running in, like, is it true that Itachi has returned to town and that he's after Naruto? Oh, whoops, didn't see you there, Sasuke. And Sasuke just takes one look at him and he just, like, darts off after Naruto. And this is one of the things I've griped about this earlier. I've griped that, like, the night-tailed fox spirit, that could not have been kept, realistically, a secret from the children of Konohagakure for as long as it did. The fact that the chunin exams are actually a proxy war between the various the various ninja clans all over the world, keeping that from the children as a secret, I feel like that would not have been realistic either. So the fact that when Itachi comes in, all you had to do, your only job was to keep that secret from Sasuke, because Sasuke would have, like, jumped at the opportunity to kill his brother. But this dumb ninja comes running in, blurts out the secret. This is what I feel like would have happened if, with the nine-tailed fox secret and the Chunin exam secret, some dumb idiot would have come running in and, like, spilled it by accident by one of the kids. Even if they didn't spill it by accident, like, someone would have wanted to tell the kids at some point or another that this is how things are going to be. The fact that this happened just made it a lot more unbelievable for the other two secrets to be as well kept as they were. But, like, I've griped about that before. It's just like that one moment just made me remember how unrealistic those secrets were, and just, like, it made me remember how silly it was. But, you know, beside the point. Anyway, so Sasuke comes running after Naruto, and he can't find them in the city that he's in. He's like, there are so many inns, I gotta go through them one by one. And he actually tries one in, and this is a very cleverly set up last few pages, because we see Sasuke knock on the door, we see Naruto, like, come and answer the door, but when Sasuke opens the door, it's not Naruto. When Naruto opens the door, it's Itachi, and suddenly your like, heart fear grips your heart, because suddenly you're like, oh my gosh, Itachi's here, what is he going to do to Naruto, how is Naruto going to deal with him? Meanwhile, Sasuke is somewhere in the city, like, searching for Naruto, searching for Itachi. So, yeah, that is a really big cliffhanger to go off of. We just jumped from one threat to the next, didn't we? From Orochimaru to Itachi And I'm very curious to see how this goes from here. I'm very curious to see how Sasuke will match up with his brother, what Itachi intends to do with Naruto, how he plans on utilizing the nine-tailed fox spirit to his advantage. And yeah, I'm. That was a really big cliffhanger, and I'm very excited to see how the next volume plays out. So, that being said, I will see you for Volume 17.